Welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Jen Clayton Beauty. We do everything beauty and makeup, and that includes testing new makeup. I've been very busy, and so I'm a little bit behind on videos in general and especially testing new makeup videos. So we have a big one today. We're going to be testing out a lot of the products that I've received in Allure Beauty Box and Ice Cream Beauty Box over the last couple of months, including an eyeshadow palette and so many other products. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on because I upload lots and lots of new videos every single week. Down in the description box, I will link all of the makeup products that we tested out today. If you're interested in picking them up, thank you so much in advance for using my links. I very much appreciate it. I'll also have my favorite beauty subscription boxes. Like I said, a lot of these came from those boxes. Actually, all of them did. Yes, all of them came from beauty subscription boxes. All of the other makeup that I'm wearing today, if you would like to shop my look. And let me zoom. So let's talk about what we're testing out. I've done a little bit already. I'll zoom you in and we'll get started. So first off is this brush set from the brand Pretty in Pink. There is a foundation slash more dense brush. This is what I use today to apply my foundation. And today I'm going very simple. I just have the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I don't have a lot going on today, just going to lunch with some friends. And I wanted a little bit of a glowy look. So I used the brush to apply the e.l.f. Halo Glow, and I thought it worked really well. I didn't notice any brush strokes. It applied the product very nicely on my skin, very evenly. You can see in the footage that it blended out beautifully. Now, it isn't a super dense brush. It is a little bit more of a soft brush. I think for me, I would probably use it in the future for cream bronzer and cream blush, but it actually worked great as a foundation brush. And the other brush in the pack is a more fluffy brush, and we'll actually be using that one for our powder bronzer. So I have on my e.l.f. Halo Glow. I did my concealer. I used, as always, the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. Set my under eyes with my e.l.f. powder. This is the only thing I use to set my under eyes. And then we're going to set the rest of my complexion with this powder from Half Caked. Now, when I unboxed this actually came in my Ipsy box. These two things came in my Ipsy box for June. The reviews on this are not good. It says that it's very cakey, settles into fine lines. I'm a little nervous about that because I'm going to be 50 this year. I have a lot of fine lines and wrinkles. I will not be using this under my eyes since I use the e.l.f., but I'm nervous about her. It's the pink powder. We're gonna test it out together. I have the highlighter in all of the lights from Ofra Cosmetics. Again, and this will be our highlighter for the day today. I have a little single shadow from Shantico Beauty. This is just a duochrome pigment loose shadow. I'm going to try to incorporate that into my look for today to test that out. And then I also have the Appeal Hydrating Eyeshadow Primer. Now, I typically use my MAC paint pot in Painterly, but we're gonna test this out today. I love my MAC paint pot. So we'll see how the Appeal performs. For me, Appeal is very hit and miss, so we shall see. And then I have a brow pencil here from Base Blue Cosmetics. So we're gonna try this on our brows today. Another brand I haven't been super impressed with, but we'll see how that performs. And then from the brand Illuminati, I have a lip oil in the shade Mauve. I'm very excited for this. I love lip oils, and Illuminati's lip products, I love them. And last but not least, holy smokes, we have a lot of new, is the Beauty Creations The Legend palette. Now, she's a big Bahama Mama palette, but we're gonna try her out today. Now, like I said, with Beauty Creations, when I unbox this, I feel like it's kind of hit and miss, but this is a beautiful palette. I love the pink, the purple color story. She's definitely big. There's some pressed glitters in here. We will not be using those, but I'm excited to see what type of look we can create. So with no further ado, let me zoom you in. Let's get started. So the last thing I need to do for my complexion is set my base makeup with this Half Caked powder. I'm nervous, guys. I'm very nervous. The reviews on this were not good at all. I mean, the majority of the reviews simply said that it was is settled very badly into fine lines. I am not going to use the puff that's included. My Unearthly powder puff that I love. All right, let's get her open. Here goes nothing. So it looks very finely milled. All right, wish me luck. So far, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I actually think it set my face really nicely. It feels very soft, very set. Again, I did not use this under my eyes, but I don't see it really settling in to a lot of those fine lines and wrinkles. It doesn't leave a white cast. I actually don't hate it. I don't hate it, and I was very, very nervous about it again after reading the reviews, and like I said, there were multiple reviews saying it settled into fine lines. I think the true test of this is going to be how this wears throughout the day. I will pop a wear test right here on the screen for you, how it wore throughout the entire day. Did I notice that it settled into my fine lines? Does it look like it does right now? Because right now, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. It's set my face. It feels really nice and smooth. It's not cakey. It's not powdery. So far, it's a win, but like I said, there'll be an update here on the screen for you. So now let's test out this Pretty in Pink brush. This is the big poofy one, which is meant for powder. It is so incredibly soft. And right now I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer. So you can see I've hit pan on her. She's in my daily makeup in my project pan. And let's go ahead and buff that on. I know that I like this bronzer, so it's going to be a test on how this brush actually performs to apply it. So the brush feels really nice. It's very, very soft, but it's dense enough to just really get in there and blend out that bronzer. I actually really like it. This would be amazing for powder blush, powder bronzer. It's a win for me. Both the brushes are a win for me. Based on the color story of the Beauty Creations palette, it is safe to say that we'll be doing either a pink or purple look. So for blush today, I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty Petal Pop-In Blush, and then we'll get to test out that Ofra highlighter. Such a great blush, just kind of your basic pink blush. I love it. And then, like I said, we have the All the Lights Ofra highlighter. Now, she's got multiple shades. We've got a pink one, a champagne, a little darker champagne, and then a deeper shade, which I think is great because it's going to cover the base of all skin tones. I think I'm going to stay over here between the pink and the lightest champagne. I love Ofra Highlight. That's the one product from Ofra that I think performs beautifully. I'm not a big fan of their eyeshadows, really, or a lot of their other complexion products, but can we just talk about the highlight? The highlight is gorgeous. Look at that. So pretty. That to me is definitely where Ofra shines. Highlighter is a huge, huge win. Let me go ahead and set my makeup and then we'll get started on our eye look. So let's test out this Appeal Cosmetics eyeshadow base. Again, I'm a little bit nervous only because I'm such a big fan of the MAC Paint Pot, but let's go ahead and put her on. I do like the flat applicator of this because I'm able to apply the eyeshadow base a little bit easier with that. This is definitely not as thick of an eyeshadow base as my MAC Paint Pot. It feels also very wet, so I'm hoping that it dries down enough that shadow, that I'm able to blend out my eyeshadow. So far, it is still pretty tacky. I will say that I feel like it dried down a little bit. First impression wise, it didn't really do much to camouflage my eyelids. So if you have dark eyelids, this isn't really going to help cover the darkness, where the MAC Paint Pot and Painterly absolutely does. But let's see how it performs as far as longevity of the shadows, how those shadows blend out, because it still definitely feels quite tacky. There are no shade names in this eyeshadow palette. I think what I want to do today, I think I'm going to do a pink leaning look since I used the pink blush and then we have that mauve colored lip oil from Illuminati. So I'm going to start over here with this light pink, picking that up. I'm actually going to use that as a transition and to set this eyeshadow primer. Oh, this primer is so tacky. When I'm going to apply my shadow, my brush is sticking to the eyeshadow primer. I do not like that at all. I actually think I'm going to try to set this eye with some powder because I'm not even able to really pack this on because my brush literally sticks and then it's getting the eyeshadow base into that shadow. Ugh, I do not like this eyeshadow primer so far at all. Let me go ahead and set this with some powder. There's no way you cannot not set this eyeshadow base. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, that's a lot better. So you definitely have to set it. It's very tacky even after it's dried down. Not for me. I don't want to have to commit to set my eyeshadow base. That's why I love the MAC Paint Pot so much. I do not have to set that one. I literally just apply it and go. So let's try to blend out this side. This side blended out a lot easier. I will say this Beauty Creations palette, this pink, very pigmented, and with proper eyeshadow base, it actually blends out really nicely. And then I'm going to go into this dark pink. It's kind of a bright dark pink. And I'm going to use that to pack on the outer portion of my eye and kind of bring that over to meet that other pink shade. These shades are beautiful. They are very, very pigmented. I'm honestly quite impressed. Also, I did add a little powder to this eye to hope to blend that base out a little bit better. And then going back into the light pink, just using that to blend and diffuse out those edges. As always, we're going in with the NYX glitter glue. This one's almost gone, actually. I need to pull out my new one. I always use NYX glitter glue. Just keeps my shimmers in place and also just kind of brings out that true opacity. And for me, with aging eyelids, I feel like it helps it not settle as much into my fine lines. So I want to use this little single shadow from Shantico Beauty. Put a little bit in the lid here. Ooh, that is so pretty. Ooh, let me swatch her for you guys. Oh, it's very glittery. Okay, so it's more of a loose glitter, but it's not craft store glitter like the glitters in the Beauty Creations palette. That's pretty. Okay, so because that is a little more glittery, a little less shimmery, let's put a shimmer on the lid first, then we'll top it with that Shantico Beauty. Like I said, do not want to use any of the pressed glitters in this palette. So my other shimmer options are a bit limited. I think I'm going to grab this one. It's a little bit more purple leaning, like a purple pink, and I'm going to place that all over my lid, and then we'll top it, like I said, with that glitter that's a little bit more pink leaning. Ooh, this purple shimmer is really pretty. Now I'm going to pick up that glitter on my finger and I'm just going to tap it on top. Holy smokes, that's gorgeous. Wow. Wow, that's pretty. Now you can see I am getting quite a bit of fallout. I mean, this is a loose glitter, but that is so pretty. Look at this. Holy moly, that's beautiful. This is a instance where you absolutely want to use the NYX glitter glue to keep that in place. And like I said, I still did get a little bit of fallout. Let me wipe that away. But it is sticking to my lid with the NYX glitter glue as well as that shimmer in place. But she glittery. Like, I'm definitely getting some glitter fallout. And I did set my base, so that's good, so that I am able to just wipe that away. But she's messy. She's definitely on the messy side. You may even want to do your eye look before your base if you're worried about any type of glitter fallout. But I do want to pick up this lightest shimmer shade, and I'm actually going to use that as my inner corner. Ooh, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. And then I'm going to pull that up on the inner portion of my eye just to add a little bit of light and bright on the inner portion, just because that is a pretty dark shimmer even with that glitter popped on top. And then back into the bright pink, I'm going to buff that on my lower lash line. One last quick little blend. Also, one last quick little wipe off of the glitter. We got glitter everywhere, you guys, and I will say that it is staying on my lids pretty nicely, but it's definitely on the messy side. Let me go ahead and do some liner and mascara. I'll be back and we'll test out this base blue brow product. The liner and mascara is on. Let's go ahead and test this brow pencil from Base Blue. Now, I actually got two of these. One of them was not my shade, so I passed that along. So this is my shade. So we're gonna test this. It does have a spoolie. Now, I recently just got my brows done. So thank goodness they are waxed and they're not out of control. And then one end we have just a very, very fine, slightly slanted brow pen, which is what I prefer. So all I do is just like to fill my brows, and I have pretty thick brows. So it's just kind of filling in those sparse areas. Especially this brow, I've got a pretty sparse area right at the front. And this is filling that in nicely. Wow, I'm impressed, to be honest. This is looking really good, really easy to use, nice and creamy, doesn't take a lot of work to get it in the brows. And then I like to use the spoolie just to kind of brush quickly through my brows, just again, keeping them in place. For me, I do typically use a brow gel, but I wanna let this be today. I wanna see how this wears throughout the day, but I thought it went on nicely, super creamy, very, very easy to use. I'm really excited to try this out. This is the Illuminati Mauve Lip oil. Ooh, the color of this is so pretty. It definitely is giving more red orange than it is mauve, but let's test this out. I don't have anything on my lips. Let me wipe my lips off real quick. Just to make sure we don't have any glitter on there. It doesn't have any scent to it and really no color. It's just making my lips shiny. One thing I will say, I wish it had a scent, especially for a lip product. I like a scented, I like it scented, even especially a lip oil. It's a little sticky. Oh yeah, you can see my lips stick together a little bit. I don't love that. Let me let this sit on my lips for a couple of minutes, see if the stickiness of it goes away. Also, I don't really enjoy the smell. Yeah, it has kind of a, I don't want to say chemical, but chemical kind of a smell, like a makeup smell. I don't love that. And I still have a lot of sticky. Yeah, I don't think I like it. I don't think I like it. It feels very thick and heavy on my lips, and it is very, very sticky. I'm gonna say no on this, unfortunately. And like I said, I love Illuminati's lip gloss. Their duochrome glosses are so good. This is just a no for me. It's very, very sticky, thick, and heavy on my lips. I am not a fan. I am going to leave it on though. Let me finish getting ready for the day. I'll be back and we'll talk about this interesting testing new makeup. So here's the completed look for today, and I am ready to go over some final thoughts on this testing new makeup. Let's first start with the brush set. Like I said, I enjoyed both of these. This is very soft. I felt like it blended out my bronzer beautifully. This worked great for foundation. Again, would be great for cream blush, cream bronzer, cream contour. I even used it to kind of tap in my concealer and it worked great. I'm excited to have these. I always appreciate getting tools because then that way I don't have to buy them. I just get them in my beauty subscription boxes. And what brand was this again? Pinky Bee Cosmetics. These are a win. And like I said, I popped a wear test in of the half caked powder, but to be honest with you, I thought it worked. I thought it looked beautiful on my skin. It didn't leave a white cast. It set my makeup in place. I didn't see any settling into fine lines and wrinkles. As a first impression, I like this. And I like that it's a little bit more brightening because it's pink. It's another win, at least as of the filming of this video. Ofra highlighter, beautiful. You can never ever go wrong with an Ofra highlighter. I like that you have 4 different options in here. You can also use this as inner corner highlight. The highlighter, like I said, is where Ofra shines, and this was another win. Now, the Appeal eyeshadow base, I do not like this. I don't like a base that I have to actually set into place with powder. It was very tacky, very sticky. Absolutely a no for me. I would not use this. I stick with my MAC Painterly. It is my go-to for a reason. And again, this didn't offer a lot of coverage either, which I get from my MAC paint pot. So that kind of fits the bill. So this is definitely not something I can see myself reaching for again. And that also goes for the Shantico Beauty Loose Glitter. Now, if this was a loose pigment, I would have liked it a little bit more. I'm not much of a loose glitter or pressed glitter kind of girl. And I'll say that I can still see it on my lids, but a lot of it has went away as I brushed away all of the rogue glitter on my face. I lost a lot of what was on my eyes, which is a good thing because now I have just this nice little sheen of glitter. I just don't see myself reaching for this again either, just because it's messy and I can get this same look from a pressed pigment, a pressed shimmer, and not have to deal with all of the glitter bukkake. So unfortunately, as beautiful as it is, it's just not something I'm gonna reach for again. Now, the brow pencil from Base Blue Cosmetics, I really liked this. This is so good. It's laying in my brows beautifully. It's creamy. It went on easily. The spoolie is really nice on the end. It's a little bit more dense, so you can get in there and brush your brows. I'm impressed, and this is something I wasn't sure I was going to enjoy, and it ended up being a big hit. The Beauty Creations palette, now obviously I only use, 3 shades, 4 shades in here, but the shades I did use, I thought they performed beautifully. In fact, better than I expected. Kind of like the Base Blue Brow Pencil, this performed better than I expected. I also appreciate a pop of neutral in there, so you could do a neutral look or a colorful look. I think my look turned out beautiful and very pigmented, easy to blend, easy to work with. I'm honestly excited to use this palette again. I think I would like it more if there were not any pressed glitters, but I'll just avoid those. But if you like pressed glitters, they may be perfect for you. But I would say overall, this impressed me, similar to my brow pencil from Base Blue, a lot more than I expected. And then unfortunately, I was expecting to love this lip oil and I just don't like it. I had to wipe off in between my lips a couple of times because they were sticking together and gloppy and clumpy. I don't like the smell of this at all. It has a very chemical makeup-y smell. It's thick, it's gloopy, it's a no. Unfortunately, it's a no, and I don't know why they called it mauve because there's no color to this at all. It literally is just a gloss on my lips. So yeah, this, unfortunately, from a brand I really enjoy their lip products, is a huge fail for me. So we had some wins, we had some fails in this testing new makeup. Overall, I got some great products. I really enjoyed the eyeshadow palette, the brushes, the Ofra highlighter, the brow pencil, the powder. The powder at first impression, I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, there were a few items I didn't love, but you know what? We're gonna take it for the team, and I think overall my look turned out beautiful. Let me know your thoughts down below, and like I said, I'll link all of these products if you're interested in picking any of them up for yourself. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!